Please welcome to the stage Louis C.K.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Thank you for applauding. Seriously, because I did a show where they don't applaud when you go on stage. It's called Mo Better Mondays. That's the name of the show at the Improv, Mo Better Mondays. It's an all-black audience. And I had done a show called Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory, which is an all-black audience, and they invited me because they thought I was black because of my name, because I directed Pootie Tang, so people sometimes think I'm black. And so they invited me to the show. So I get there, and they go, "Oh, hi." And I look in the room and I go, "Oh, hi." And then we kind of stand there trying to decide, and I go, "Fuck it, hi." And they go, "Yeah, hi." All right. So I went on, and this is Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory, and it was fucking great. I had a great time because nobody else is trying. They're all up there just acting cool, and I went up there and I tried, and everybody appreciated it. So then, because most comedians don't try. I'm not saying because they were black, but they were all black and unfunny. Every single one of them was black and unfunny. There are far more unfunny white comedians than unfunny black ones. But every single comedian on that show was black and unfunny. Should have been the name of the show, really. But I was white and hilarious. And also, you know, privileged and lucky to be white. It's fucking awesome. It is a very... everybody who's white should just wake up and go, "I'm fucking white! This is great! How easy is this shit? I don't have to fucking explain myself ever. I look people in the eye with confidence. Nobody fucks with me. The police protect me." It's amazing that black people, all they can hope from the cops is that they'll leave them alone. And we actually get to hope that they'll protect us. It's fucking a chasm of difference. And I'm on the greatest side of that chasm. I am on the fucking sweet side of that chasm. Just a fact, it's not a nice thing, but it happens to benefit me greatly. But anyway, I'm not gonna lie about it. Oh, it sucks being white. White people always complain about something like, "Oh, I don't get to say nigger." Like, the whole white people, how come they can say it to each other, but like they want to go to the Supreme Court. I should be allowed to say it somehow. It's not right. Just don't. Why do you want to say it so bad? Say it. Fuck. Anyway. So, Chocolate Sunday, I didn't certainly do any of that material there. The Chocolate Sunday is pretty great. I just talked about my kid and cars. And then I went to do Mo Better Mondays, and I thought, I got invited to do Mo Better Mondays, and that's where I became racist. I became prejudiced, because I said, hey, they'll love me there. Because I just thought, there's black people in that building, so the black people in that building will be the exact carbon copies. There's no way they won't laugh, because they laughed the first time. So I went, people were saying, Mo Better Mondays is not nice. And I'm like, fuck you, you're just white, and I'm better. So yeah, I'm white too, but I've been there and I got laughs. And white people that make black people laugh are very proud of themselves. So I went to Mo Better Mondays, and it's not at all even close to the same people. They're fucking suburban people in Chocolate Sundays. Mo Better Mondays, they have the machine, and they're selling cologne in the bathroom, and people are fucking hard, and they do not clap when they bring people on stage. People go on, they go, all right, how about a hand for Joe, whatever, and then he just walks up to silence. I mean, I've never even seen that on any show in my life. There isn't just the benefit of the doubt applause. They just, let's bring him up, and he just walks up, and the people go, yeah, okay, go. And I went on, and I didn't pay attention to the people before me because they were smart. They didn't go right into jokes. They started talking and shit. They just going, hey, yeah, all right, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just hanging, okay. For like 3 minutes of that shit. And then eventually they go, okay, they slide into a joke and get a tiny laugh. And by the end of the time they left, they go, all right. And then they applaud when the guy left. I go on and I just go, and I do a joke right away, and it gets nothing. And not only does it get silence, when I move on to the next joke, that's when I hear a noise. Because when I start going, anyway, so, they all go, oh shit, that was it? That was the whole fucking, oh shit! Oh damn! Like, they didn't know the joke was over even until I started joke number 2. Joke number 1. So joke number, what? Really? That's what, oh! Then I do joke number 2 and now it's not silence, like, no, man. No, like literally that sound coming out of many tables. No. And then I try the thing that never fails when you're bombing. I go, oh, fuck you people, I'm staying up here. That always works when you're bombing. You go, you know what, fuck you, I'm doing my time. And somebody always goes, all right, yeah, I get respect to the balls. But they all went, no, get off. What guy said that? Just real serious. No, get off. Get off now. And I was like, yeah, okay. I did like a minute total. And, fuck, that hurt so bad, man. And I was in the car afterwards just like, oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't mean to tell that whole story. It's just that when you applauded when I came up here, I felt, oh, that's nice, that helps. That's it. Sorry. It's too long. Anyway, but it's nice to see you all here, and it's kind of funny to see you all because I fucked all of your mothers. Just so it's a coincidence, kind of. All of your mothers. That's what I was going to open with. I was just in Ireland, and they have these posters. In Ireland, there's an election going on, and all over Europe right now, actually, for the whatever, I don't fucking care, it's not here, so it doesn't matter. It fucking don't matter at all. So, but I'm in Ireland, and there's an election, and there's a guy whose poster says, "Stop the pedophiles." That's his slogan. Stop the pedophiles. And here's the thing, even if you're against the pedophiles, I wouldn't want my face with pedophiles all over the nation that I live in, you know? And I told that to an Irishman, and he said, you know, actually, we say pedophiles. I'm like, hey, I've been fucking kids for 10 years. Don't tell me how to say pedophiles. I think I would know. I speak with some authority when you say pedophiles. What else that's horrible? I've just been having horrible thoughts. I was going by a wedding, and there's this beautiful, I was going by a church, this wedding was coming out, and it was just so beautiful, and I kind of couldn't resist. I ran up to the groom, and I said, "You fucking liar! I sucked your cock! You said we were going to Massachusetts!" Stereotypical gay guy. Here's the thing, right? It's not cool, right, to make fun of stereotypical gay people, but there are some gay guys who talk like that. There are gay guys who wear shorts that are really tight, and then those sleeve shirts can go, "You're an asshole!" And those guys are silly. And they should be laughed at. Not all, to say, hey, all gay people act like this is wrong, but to point out that a gay guy that acts like that is funny, it's just fucking true. They're hilarious. Hello! There are gay guys who act like that, and they're fucking ridiculous. Of course they are. It's like when you see a black guy, there are black guys who go, "Shit, motherfucker! That shit's funny. That's weird to talk like that. It's weird to go, no, shit." With your hand like that, that's funny. You know, and it's not wrong to make fun of Jews, that they're all Jewy, you know? Anyway, that's what Jews get. They're Jewy. I'm sticking here in the stereotype that Jews love money. It's just not true. I have this friend who's Jewish, and I tried to give him $1, and he was like, "Arr! Arr!" He hates money.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Hello. Nice to be here. How are you doing? Good. Good. Nice to be here. I'm broke. Anybody else broke? You ever get so broke that the bank starts charging you money for not having enough money? That's fucking broke, man. Bank called me up. They're like, "Hi, we're calling because you don't have enough money." I'm like, "I know." She's like, "Sir, you have insufficient funds." Well, that's a good way to put it, too. I agree with that. I find my funds to be grossly insufficient. Thanks for calling. Why are you mad at me? I don't understand what. How is this something I'm doing to you? She's like, "Sir, you only have $20. That's not enough. You can't only have $20. I'm like, "Look, I'm not being broke just to fuck with you. I just really don't have any money. I'm not trying to be a dick. My life is shitty." What? So they charged me. They charged me $15. That's how much it costs to only have $20. But here's the fucked up part. Now I only have $5. What did I pay the $15 for if I don't get to have the $20 that I paid to have? I paid the fucking money. Where's my $20? That's like going to the movies. You buy your ticket and they go, "Get the fuck out of here. Go home." But I paid for the movie. No, you paid for a ticket, motherfucker. You didn't pay for a movie. You ever have negative money? That's depressing, isn't it? You look in your bank account, negative $10. That's how much I have now. Negative 10. That means I don't even have no money now. I wish I did. I wish I didn't have anything. I wish I just had nothing, but I have less than that. I don't have none. I have not 10. I can't, if it's free, I can't fucking afford it. Somebody could come up to me, "Take this, is free." Fuck, that costs nothing. I can't afford that. That's more than I have. I gotta raise $10 to be broke. That's where I'm at. That's not good. That's bad. Apparently some of you are in the same fucking position. How's your economy doing? Shit. No, I'm glad you appreciate that story. Not everybody appreciates that story. I told that story about a week ago in Orange County, California, and all these rich motherfuckers looking at me with their boat tans and their golf shirts and penny loafers. They're all looking at me like, "Well, yeah. Like, you were financially irresponsible, you had to pay the price. I don't frankly see what you're angry about. The bank has a right to accrue a fee, clearly." That's how different it is to be rich than it is to be poor, because when you're rich, the bank pays you for being rich. If you have a lot of money, they give you money because you have a lot of money. They say, "You have so much money that we should give you some. Because you have a lot, you should have more. Here, take more money. Take this guy's 15, fuck him, you should have it." Makes perfect sense. He doesn't have enough, you have a lot. Fine, take it all, you motherfuckers. I don't give a shit. You ever get so broke it just becomes funny to you after a while? You're like, "Jesus Christ, I have no fucking money. Jesus." People call you, "Hi, we're going to turn off the..." Yeah, fuck it, turn it off, man. Turn it off. I don't give a shit. "When can you make a payment?" I ain't paying anything. What am I going to fucking pay you with? I fucking sold the phone. I don't need it now. Damn it, man. This shit's brutal. I live in New York too, and man, you can't get along with no money in New York. You gotta live in these tiny places. I have this apartment, right? And we have this, okay, here's the toilet, right? I'm on the toilet. This is how small the apartment is. The tub is right here, like right next to the toilet. Then there's a wall, like right fucking here, like right, there's no, you get squeezed in. And here's the worst part. I have to put a foot in the tub to use this toilet because otherwise I gotta go like this. Who shits like this with their knees together? I'm pooping. Boop. 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 No, you gotta fucking dig in. On a fire. You gotta get into it. And in order to achieve this position, I have to put a foot in the tub. Now try putting a foot in the tub when your pants are at your ankles. You can't, they both want to go, right? So I have to take off the whole pant leg, which means I have to take a shoe off every time I take a shit. Every time. And sometimes that's okay, but a lot of times it fucking isn't okay. Sometimes I didn't plan effectively, and I'm 10 blocks from my house, and I've got to shit. You know when you can't run because you'll bounce it out, so you got to kind of glide, and you're going, come on! God damn it! And you stop occasionally. Fuck, fuck, fuck! Come on, man! God. Okay, I'm gonna make it. 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 And I always get to this point where like, I'm gonna make it. I'm fucking fine. I'm fine. Mind over matter. I'm gonna make it. And then I see my house. I just see it. And my eyes tell the rest of me, fuck it, man. Let go. We're here. There's no need to hold on anymore. We've made it. Because my eyes are fucking retarded, and they don't know the difference between the outside and the inside of my house. So now I got like Olympic seconds to fucking get in my house and open the door to the bathroom, and I gotta take a fucking shoe off? Are you... I have shit my pants 13 times. I couldn't keep a straight face with that. All right. Oh, shut up. You better leave now. It doesn't get any better. Anyway. No, file, sorry, blah, blah. So anyway, no money. I guess I'm white trash officially, and white trash is a very funny expression to me because it's the only racial expression you can use, and no one gets offended. Nobody gives a shit when you say white trash. Nobody gets all quiet like, hey man, why are you talking like that? That's not cool. Nobody defends white trash. You can be talking to the most liberal hippie in the world. You go, hey, I saw this guy, he was white trash. He'll go, ha ha, fuck that guy. White trash piece of shit. Let's laugh at him because he's poor and he's starving to death. Fucking loser. He lives in a trailer because he can't afford a house. Let's go shit right in his face right now. That's why they're funny to us, because they're fucking poor. He wears stupid clothes because they're fucking free so he can eat. Ha fucking ha! Man, it's depressing in this country. You ever drive through whole towns where everybody's life is shit in the whole town? Everybody's just standing in front of their house like... I don't know, man. This is a weird election, too. People got weird, man. I was driving through this town in upstate New York. This guy's standing there with a sign that says, honk if you love America. Now, I love America, but I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is your day? You're gonna stand at this red light with this fucking sign? What is wrong with you? And he's looking at me because he's angry that I haven't honked yet. And now he's trying to intimidate me. He's like, fucking honk, motherfucker! Honk! And then I decide, you know what, I'm not honking. And you know why? Because fuck this guy, that's why. He doesn't get to decide this rule for the whole fucking intersection. Just because he's got a magic marker and no job, now I have to honk? Or otherwise I'm a fucking commie? Fuck him. What if I go up to him with a t-shirt that says, lick my balls if you love Jesus? Come on, man, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. What are you, a Jew? Lick him!
With one of our guests today, and I try to be polite to whomever is on the show. This is a man named Louis C.K., and he stars in a new HBO sitcom called Lucky Louie. Okay, over the weekend I watched 2 of his shows. You watched it, and you watched parts of it. I have a sense of humor. I'm probably going to make this show much more popular by saying this. I found them unbelievably vulgar.
They're pretty raunchy.
And racist. I'm used to the F word. That doesn't bother me. I think I have a sense of humor. But, I mean, it's got him for endlessly having intercourse with his wife while she's so bored. It shows the neighbors moaning. There's a vibrator that's shaking.
Yes.
There's also racist things.
It goes there.
And I just thought, I'm sure he's a lovely man. In a few minutes, I have to face him. But
no, but it makes you wonder. And, you know, the thing is...
Is there no boundary?
I guess not on HBO. I always joke about it, calling it hilarious but offensive, because that's what I think it is. As you heard earlier, the new sitcom Lucky Louie is definitely a hot topic, causing a firestorm of controversy that has some critics calling the show sexist and racist. And it's definitely a show that's not above going below the belt. Take a look.
Kim, we can't afford another baby.
But we always said we'd have 2 kids. We agreed when we had Lucy that we wouldn't make her be alone.
Yeah, but not now. Do you know how much we have in checking right now? Negative $50. We have to raise $50 to be broke.
I don't care. I'm not waiting. Lucy is 4 already. I'm getting pregnant right now.
Well, you ain't getting pregnant without my sperm.
That is not your sperm. That is our sperm. That's my sperm. Give it back.
Please welcome the creator and star of Lucky Louie, Louis C.K. That was a fun scene. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome. You're in the hot seat now, Louis.
Your show is popular now. I have just made it so popular by telling everybody all these raunchy scenes, right?
Well,
you can thank her by having her as a guest on the upcoming episode, maybe.
no, listen, I'm really glad that you said this stuff because I think a lot of people, you know, are confused by the show and offended by it, so it's, you know, it's good to be able to. I'm a little nervous and scared, but I'm glad to be able to talk to you about it.
You've actually said it's like honeymooners, sort of, right?
Yeah, the show is not, I mean, I don't want people to think that we're trying to make fun of folks and we're being dirty just for the sake of it. We're just trying to be as honest as possible. And we picked HBO so that people would know when they go there that it's a place where, you know, but at the same time, I know that HBO, once you buy it, it's just part of the flipping. So, you know, but all we're trying to do is be funny and unique and relatable.
But let me ask you this, Lou.
It's very grown up.
It can get very raunchy. What about the 7-year-old
Well,
girl?
grown up doesn't bother me. It's, well, never mind. You and I, we'll have lunch.
No, and I think it's a good thing.
We'll do lunch.
No, I really am.
Barbara, I felt the same way watching it, but my concern was that there's a 7-year-old girl who plays your daughter on the show. Does she hear all the stuff that goes on? Because I know she's not in a lot of the scenes where that talk goes on.
Well, no, we actually shoot carefully so that she's not on the set when that stuff gets said.
Put big earmuffs on her or something?
Yeah, and she's in the show with us, but we are, grown-ups live in the same houses as children. So, and grown-ups curse and grown-ups get mad at each other.
Listen, I read Natalie Wood's biography, okay? They used to let that...
Curse and grown-ups get mad at each
Listen,
other.
I read Natalie Wood's biography, okay? They used to let that kid go in water. She was petrified of water. She used to do scenes in water. To me, that's much more dangerous for a child actor than hearing a few words, okay?
You know what?
I remember this one scene where it's your character, the daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And the African-American couple that's across the hall gives her a doll. Her other friends gave her a doll. And the African-American couple gives her black doll.
That's right.
And she has to do a scene, and she does it very effectively, where she cries and says, I don't want the black Barbie.
Right.
Is there conversation with this young actress about what the ramifications of that are. Because I know that those are the things that moms, Elizabeth and I were just talking about.
Sure. Well, I think that, like, for that scene, yeah, first somebody gives her a white Barbie, and my wife is upset because she doesn't like Barbies because of what they represent for women.
They said a little mini stripper. I thought it was a great line.
It was. It was funny.
And then she gets a black Barbie, and some kids just say stuff that you don't know why they're going to like something.
Exactly, but it was real. It was a real reaction. It wasn't a bad reaction as a kid.
For the kid to say, I don't like the black Barbie, and then we all feel horrible.
Because you're embarrassed because this couple is there.
Exactly. So I think we let the kid absorb that the way the kid would in the real story, which is you don't like this Barbie, and you just, you know. But I don't think I think at this age the kid's 6 years old, and we don't need to. I don't want her to be race conscious or anything conscious. It's not up to me, though. I think it's up to her parents.
Speaking of...
I hope the 6-year-old doesn't see the red vibrating moving when she's on the set.
Yeah.
No,
just keep her locked up somewhere else.
I just thought I'd throw that
into the real world.
No, and as far as the race material on the show, the pilot sets up a situation which is real from my life, which is that we're raising my daughter in upstate New York. And there are zero anything but white people up there where we are. And so an African...
Welcome to my world.
and a guy came to fix the refrigerator, and he was African American, and he and my daughter bonded with him. And he said...
This is in the show.
This is true, and it really happened.
True life.
And my daughter said refrigerator, because she had just learned the word, and he said, yes, refrigerator. And they said refrigerator to each other all day. And then I took her to New York City, and the first black guy that she saw, she said refrigerator.
I did
so right away I thought, my daughter doesn't have enough varied
funny.
experience.
That's cute.
Well, it was true, and so this is the thing. In order for our next generation to mix and not think of each other in terms of race, adults have to have these awkward, hi, please be my friend because you're black things. It's just awkward, but it's... But it's
just
something
tell
we're
her
really
when
dealing
she
with.
sees your chubby auntie star, don't say refrigerator. You know,
she also likes to play.
You do say to the, you know, I have no black friends, so please be my friend just because you're black.
I do, and that's the way, I guess, that's the way. I mean, that's not true in my life. You know, a friend of mine, Chris Rock is a friend of mine, and he lives in a nice neighborhood, and he's got a daughter, and he has trouble finding black friends for her and for his black daughter because he's in an area that's so it's something that we're all dealing with.
We take care of that.
You do take those situations and make them real. Doesn't your daughter? You have your 4-year-old, and doesn't she like to play hide and seek, and you hate it?
Oh yeah, well, she loves playing hide and seek, and I guess I find it annoying because she's awful at it. Like, when we play hide and seek, she tells me where to hide. She picks my hiding place, which is just patently unfair. She's like, hide in the closet. And I'm like, but then you hide in the closet! You know, so I gotta go in the closet.
How does your family feel about exposing them like this? I mean, we all
My wife loves the show, and my daughters don't watch the show.
Most of the show is based on your relationship with...
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the 4-year-old you love and find interesting. The 1-year-old you think is, what, a lump?
Well, the 1-year-old, I don't know nothing about her because she hasn't said anything yet. So there's nothing to really say.
Are you concerned with how big you are as a dad?
Oh, I'm
the Father's Day we just finished with now.
Yes, well, I think I'm a pretty awful dad. And I think most fathers feel that way, that you're constantly... One time I was eating chocolates I wasn't supposed to be eating, and my daughter said, what are those? And I said, they're black tomatoes. Because I didn't want her to think I was eating... So now she thinks there's something called black tomatoes. Isn't that awful?
So wrong of you.
It's awful.
I think that's great. And you know that 1-year-old, if she's anything like you, she's going to have a ton to say, because you are very funny. And the show is very interesting. So you can watch it or not. It's up to you. Thanks to Louis C.K.
When Lucky Louie was coming out and I was promoting it, I asked to do The View. And then I showed up, and the other guest was Fonzie, Henry Winkler. And, I mean, for me, it was just being there, I was like Barbara Walters. I grew up, and she was like Barbara Wawa, and she was, you know, the center of so much going on, and Arafat and all this stuff, you know. And then Fonzie. I mean, Jesus Christ. I was in, you know, like 4th grade, 3rd grade, when Fonzie was just the fucking king of the world to me. So here he is, you know, weird, not at all Fonzie. You know, hi. Like, you know, it's not Fonzie. Oh, hi. Oh, that's nice. Like, it's not how Fonzie talks. And, but he's a great guy, and he knows Pamela Adlon, who played my wife on Lucky Louie, so he actually came over to my dressing room to say, oh, I love Pamela, and I love the show. It's dear. Your show is dear. That's what he said. It's so dear. And I was, so that was great. And then I'm all of a sudden a producer comes in my room, and says, I have to talk to you. They're about to go on the air. You need to see this. And her hand was shaking on this remote. She turned on the TV on this is it's on live. And there's Barbara Walters saying, our first topic is about one of our guests who has a show called Lucky Louie. And this is the most offensive, racist, sexist, terrible show I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe this is on the air. I hate it. And they all started going to town on that. There's pictures of me and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I got to go out there.
Yeah.
And so she said, so we still want to try to do your funny stories. I'm like, no, I can't do the funny stories. You're fucking killing me out there. And I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle it. I think I called Chris Rock, who's like an advisor to me. And I told him.
Backstage?
I was backstage and I called Chris Rock and said.
This was the best show ever, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. And I said, I don't know what to do. These women just shit all over me, and I'm about to go out there. And he said, forget the women. You've got people who are watching at home. Just rise above it and talk to the audience. Fuck Barbara Walters. She doesn't matter. You're going to be on television right now. Nobody's even going to notice what show it is. They're just going to see you. And that was a wake me up. I went out there and I thought, I'm not talking to Barbara Walters. Her audience is more important than she is to me. And I love those ladies. And I know they'll like me. And also they showed a clip, right before they brought me out, they showed a clip from the show of me and my wife arguing about money in bed. Which is, to me, what marriage is. Arguing about money instead of fucking. And the clip really worked. And the audience laughed, and I thought, fuck her, I don't need her. And I went out there, and she made a big deal out of, Barbara Walters came over and hugged me when I first walked out. Like, oh, we're friends now. Like, oh, the rift is over. And when she did that, I realized, this is pure bullshit. She doesn't dislike the show. She wasn't offended. She's trying to get on the map. She's trying to make it into something. And also the Republican, I forget her name, on the other side, said something about this show has touched off a firestorm of controversy. We were on the air for like a week. It hadn't touched off anything. There was nothing. They were trying to, let's touch off this firestorm of controversy right now. So then I realized that it's all false. Nobody was really mad at me. And then I just explained the show to the audience. I knew they wanted me to come out and go, fuck you. That's what they wanted. That's why they sandbagged me, because they hoped I would misbehave. They thought I would come on and say, fuck you, you old bag. And she'd go, oh, my goodness. And it would be all over the place. But instead I came out and said, listen, I thank you for bringing up these concerns, because I don't want people to think the show's here to offend anyone. It's just honest. And I went through the points of the show and why it was important.
Missy Peregrine is with us. She's from Canada. She promised to bring me some cheap blood pressure medication, so we'll enjoy that together. And then with music from their self-titled debut album, Steel Magnolia from the Bud Light stage. Tomorrow night we'll be joined by Jason Bateman from the Cincinnati Bengals, Dahani Jones, and comedian Hannibal Buress. And later this week, Shia LaBeouf. Kevin Nealon will be here, Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, Dave Salmoni and his Terrifying Animals, and we'll have music from Parachute and 311. So join us for our show. Our first guest tonight is one of the funniest men around with an exceptionally funny show. The show is called Louie. You can watch it Thursdays at 10:30 on FX. Please say hello to Louis C.K.
Nice to see you. Really good.
It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a long time.
It has been a long time. You're a much thinner fellow than you were before.
Don't get used to it.
No?
Now you live in New York.
Yes.
You've got 2 little girls.
Yeah, 2 kids.
Do they come on trips with you when you do this sort of thing?
No, I would not do that to them. No, they're at home with their mom, sleeping right now.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you know where your kids are now. Didn't used to know where you know what I mean? Like when we were kids, did your parents know where you were?
Never.
No. No idea.
Even that thing on the news that said, 10 o'clock, do you know where your kids are?
Nope.
The answer was no.
No idea. Now there's a kind of a custody, chain of custody that's never broken, you know? You just can account for every second of your kids' lives.
Yeah.
You go on play dates, and it's an arranged thing. And they go, you drop them off, and you wait. You know, you take them to soccer games. And it's empowering, yay! And then you take them home. It's all very arranged.
You're right. It is more. I wonder why that is.
The people that like to have throw kids in the garbage and stuff like that. Hit them and break their bones. But anyway, that's not important right now. But
because when we were
kids,
it wasn't like that.
Oh no, those people were around. They weren't on. There was no Nancy Grace. So now there's somebody there to remind you of it a lot. So folks watch their kids more. I mean, it's not a new thing.
When you were a kid, you'd just be running. You'd run around the neighborhood, right?
Well, yeah. Like I have my kids go on play dates, and I know I have a relationship with the parents. I know who the kids are. They've been to my house. I've been to their house. I was just a kid walking around town. I was like 8 years old, younger than my daughter, and I was just this kid, just walking around, just a dude in town. And I would go to Greg's house, my friend Greg, and my mother never met Greg. No idea who he is. Certainly never met his dad or whoever the dude was. I don't know who it was. When I went to Greg's house, I'd knock on the door, and this guy would come, and he always wearing, like, I don't know, some kind of weird top that looked a little womany. And Hanes, he always had a Snoopy glass with gin in it. And just Hanes briefs that were fighting with, and then there was always a little brown spot on the front. Yes. So I was 7 years old contemplating, does this guy poop out of his penis? Like what? Those are the kind of things that I had to think about.
That's Greg's dad for you.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't have, were you a bad kid?
I wasn't a bad kid, but I got in trouble because I just was alone, and I just, like I got into stealing tampons at one point.
For profit?
No, I didn't make a dime. I didn't make a dime.
Well, how would this work? I hesitate to ask, but how would this work?
No, I was 8 years old, and I just went into a CVS one day because I just roamed store aisles, and I was looking at the tampons, and I was sort of staring at them with this. I knew there was something dirty about them. I didn't know what they were. Staring, and I picked one up. I got the gall to pick one up, and I'm looking at this box of tampons, and someone came around the corner, so I put it in my jacket, and now I have stolen them. Yeah. Because if I take them out, someone saw that I had them in my jacket. In my head, I'm like, that's it. They're in there. I can't. So I left, and I had sweat on my face. And I just went home, and I threw them under my bed, and I'm eating dinner. Like, everybody knows I have tampons under my bed. And so it was a terrible, stressful experience, which I then repeated every day. For like 2 months. What? I'd go back, and I'd just do the whole cycle. I just kept doing it. And no, I never got caught. I mean, they probably saw me, but the guy's like, I'm not confronting the kid who takes the tampons. I'll pay for him out of my check before I live that moment. I'm not asking that little pervert what he's doing with those.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that boy.
Something's really wrong with him.
And how did it end?
Well, they kept going under my bed, and I just tried not to think about him. And then one day I looked, and they were just gone. They just were gone, and my mom never said anything. She must have been cleaning up, and she was like, what is this? This is crazy.
Wow, that's...
I don't know, maybe she used them for like 10 years. I don't know. I mean, would she throw them away?
You might as well. In those days, you don't waste.
Maybe I contributed to the family a little bit, Maybe I kept my mom in cheap tampons for a few years. I don't know.
Are your kids unusual like that?
No.
Are you, as the weird father, are you a weird father to them?
No, I mean, I've tried to make up for it. But it's a little too late. Like, I think I had kids a little too late and a little too fat in life, You gotta,
what do you mean by that?
Well, you should be a young, healthy dad. You should be a 26-year-old father in a tight T-shirt going, whoa, I'm gonna get you, one of those guys. That's what kids have coming. And I'm not that.
You don't do that.
No, I take them to the park and I just run them like dogs. You got 20 minutes. I just watch them run. I stand there breathing like Tony Soprano and watching them run. And... Daddy, chase us. If someone grabs you, maybe I'll chase them. But otherwise, grow up sad. And it's just I have a lot of physical limitations that keep me from being a good dad. Like, I'm always in a 48-hour window of diarrhea. Either I'll be having or have had diarrhea within 48 hours. Somewhere I'm on the timeline of my life, and the diarrhea. And depending on where I am in that window dictates how far from my house I'm willing to venture.
I see.
How far a radius.
Yeah, right. You're
otherwise,
tethered in
yeah,
it.
yes. It's like having an ankle bracelet in a different kind of way. Because otherwise, I'm having diarrhea in a public restroom with my kids standing there watching me because they're little. I can't leave them out by themselves. So they're standing there. Daddy, I don't want to. Sorry, honey, you want to go to the aquarium, this is what happens. I said, let's go to get the newspaper and come home, but I said, let's go to get the newspaper and come home, but you wanted to get fancy, so you get to watch me pee out of my ass for 2 hours.
Well, it's fun with the kids. The memories.
How they feel about it, yeah.
Now, do they know? Do they understand, like, that you're a comedian? Do they know this? Is this a concept that they're familiar with?
Yeah, they know that Daddy tells jokes, and they don't get the business though. You know, like they don't get show business.
Really?
No,
you know?
who does? But like I had a weird conversation with my 9-year-old. We were driving on the highway. The 6-year-old was there too, but she was just, you know, sapping resources. She wasn't really contributing to the conversation. We passed by a cruise ship, and I said, "Hey, girls, the cool thing about having kids is that you get to tell them what everything is. You get to be the person that reports the whole planet to them.
You're their tour guide for their life.
For life,
yeah.
exactly. That's a cruise ship. It's a massive boat. There's swimming pools and discos or whatever they have, you know. So they got excited by the idea of a cruise ship, and I said, some comedians do shows on cruise ships. And they said, do you do that? And I was like, no. Here's the thing. Comedians have a mean hatred of cruise ship comics.
Yeah.
It's just a mean prejudice. We call them Bodaks. It's just mean. It's Bodak because they pander. We just think they're crap, and it's just something you just feel. It's like being born racist. You just believe it. You don't question it. It's just a thing in you.
You might not even know. But
yeah. So my daughter's like, "Have you ever worked on a cruise ship?" I'm like, "No." And she says, "Why not? Why wouldn't you want to be on a boat?" And I'm like, "Well, that's a different kind of comic." She says, well, what's the different about him? Well, a cruise ship comic just tries to please everybody. And she's like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Of course, isn't that what you want to do? Yes, but I see some things I say on stage might upset some people. Why would you upset people? That's a terrible thing to do. So,
you know what? There might be some clarity there. I don't know.
It is.
You know, you might want to rethink this.
I might try the
thing.
cruise ships. Yeah.
Well, by the way, first of all, I want to say the show is terrific. It's very funny. And I know
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break here.
Okay. We'll come back and talk about Louis. Louis airs Thursday nights, 10:30 on FX. Louis C.K. We're right back.
Can I help you? Yeah, I need condoms, sexual lubricant, Vagitine, and blueberries.
Lubricant out 7, Vagitine out 3, next to the tampons, condoms behind the counter. We ain't got no blueberries.
Thank you.
That's Louis C.K.'s show. Louis. It's on FX every Thursday night. Louis with us. By the way, the show is, not only is it very funny, but the directing is great. I know you direct the show, too.
I do, yes.
It looks great. It looks like a movie out of the 70s.
Thank you. That's
You must
perfect.
be very pleased with the whole thing.
I am. I love it. The movie out of the 70s is perfect. That's what I grew up loving and watching.
How is the how is the second season different from the first season? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I get bored of something, I just stop doing it, you know? So I didn't keep a lot of the same stuff. Like, we moved to a new apartment. It's a whole other, but there's no scene where it happened. I just stopped being in that one and started another one. Last year, I had one very constant character. It was my brother, played by Bobby Kelly. He was a really funny guy, and he did such a good job. And this year, I just didn't feel like it, so he's gone. He's just gone. He's gone. I didn't kill him in an episode. It's like he never existed.
But the great thing for him is in a way like Lost, where he could possibly come back.
Yeah,
right?
he might, I guess. I'd have to have a good idea. I didn't have any ideas for him, so I just stopped this. He's not in the reality of the show anymore like he never was. So now I have 2 sisters.
Right.
And one of them, and none of this reflects my life. The show's all fiction, but the first episode this season introduces my sister as this character, and it's a big introduction. And it's the last thing we shot because I came up with it like right before we wrapped. So she's just gone. She just doesn't come. There's a whole thing where she comes and I love her. Gone. Never see her again.
Really?
Yes, and my neighbor comes and helps me, and he's a really nice guy, and the last thing he says is, remember who your neighbors are. And I go, yes, I would. And he's gone, too.
But really, because it seemed like you were going to then have like a neighborly, friendly relationship.
You'll never see him again. No, and last year I had this woman play my mother, and she was this crazy, horrible woman. It's not, my mother's a really nice person. So I just made up this terrible mother character played by this Mary Louise Wilson, really funny actor. And so we did the episode. And then later in the season, I wanted to do a flashback to my real mother, who was really nice, so I did that too. And so everybody was very confused. These characters are so insanely different. And the woman who played my mother as a young woman is a woman I date in another episode. It's just a whole other person. Because she was good at both parts. So I just don't care.
It's an ensemble cast.
Well, every episode just has its own goal. And if it messes up the goal of another episode, I don't give a shit. I just don't care.
I like that. You're very fickle and the hell with it.
That's right.
You know what? If any of these
don't
actors...
like it, fire me.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a very Darwinist system television.
No one should get too comfortable with anything.
No, man.
Not
if
the
it
actors
stinks,
on
I'm
set,
gone.
And not the viewers at home.
That's right.
Louis C.K., everybody. Louis here Thursday nights at 10:30 on FX. We'll be right back.
Is an Emmy, Grammy, and Peabody Award-winning comedian. He's hosting the season finale of Saturday Night Live this week with musical guest Rihanna. He's also the writer, director, and star of the acclaimed series Louis, which airs Thursday nights on FX. Please welcome Louis C.K.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. So
Nice
this is
to be here.
3 hosting in 3 years for you.
That's right.
3 in a row. It's a big deal.
It is. I should probably slow down a little bit.
No, it's good. When you got a hot hand like this, if you take a year off, you might just fall out of favor.
I might be not able to do it anymore.
Right.
But it does seem like ill-advised to keep doing, to host over and over again, because there's a finite amount of good in me. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. So you just, yes.
So if I do too many, I actually had one good friend of mine say, because they asked me to host, and I was like, should I take a year off of hosting? Because I've done it twice in Europe. And so my friend, who's very famous, and I can't name her, she said, you know, as your fan, I'd like to see you not host this year. And then my other friend, who's even more famous, said, you know, I'm your friend. I think you should take a year off.
Wow.
And so I was like, I'm doing it. Now I got to do it.
Yeah, now you got to prove. Yeah.
Now I have to do it because there's so many signs that it's going to be like some kind of an awful disaster or something.
Yeah.
And when you get an opportunity like that, you got to go for it.
Well, here's the thing, too. I can guarantee you this. If you run out of good on Saturday, Rihanna will not.
That's right.
So
she's excellent.
That's not, it's not going to happen with musicians. So if anything goes wrong, it's
at least there's the 2 songs.
Yeah.
It'll be great. The rest of it's sorry. No, I love hosting the show. I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
And you had auditioned for the show years ago.
Yeah.
But no hard feelings now or ever? Did you ever have hard feelings?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be in show business and not get things and then get upset. You know, it's just the way it goes. But I did audition at a comedy club. They had a bunch of comedians went on. Did audition at a comedy club. They had a bunch of comedians went on, and everybody on that audition but me got hired. Every single person. It was. I was like. Whew.
Did you feel? Did you feel?
Lord have mercy. Yeah, it was tough.
Did you feel during it like, oh, everybody's doing great?
Yeah, during the audition, I had a good set. I did good.
Okay, yeah.
I did good. They just didn't, which makes it harder to not get it. Right. Because if you bomb, you're like, well, you know, I had a bad night. But I had a great night, and they're like, no. No, not the best version of you. We don't want it anywhere near this place.
And then you wrote for late night this very show when Conan was doing it.
That's right.
And every now and then you'd have to maybe fight for your comedy with the host, which happens still. I will let you know, still happens today.
Of course it does.
Writers are always my writers, of course, I'm the one that has to wear a suit and tie, so they immediately treat me like the man.
Right. No, they hate you.
Yeah.
God, they
That's a
hate
good way
you
of
so
putting
much.
it.
You'll never know how much they hate you. Well, you know, writers are in their 20s. I was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just saw it like, I want to get my stuff on the show, you know. Now I know that I was working for people that I should have been helping because they were giving me money. If somebody hires you to do anything and they pay you money that you then go live your life with, you should really want to do whatever they need, you know? That's what I believe. At the time, I didn't believe that. I just thought, you know.
You can still sneak stuff on with the announcer.
Yeah, because on basically you try to find your way around the approval process. You know, there's a head writer and there's producers and there's standards of practice. But on Conan's show, there was a announcer named Joel, and he would make a little joke before he said Conan's name, like a little offside joke. So me and my friend Dino, who were like two of the more, had been there longer than other writers, we realized nobody checks those. You just write them and you hand them to the guy. So
there's a side door.
Yeah, exactly. So we were like, what can we... So we came up with one, which was, he said, he goes, last night, the missus gave me a pearl necklace. Yeah. That's about a 40% understanding what the joke means, right? I think. I don't know how many of you understand the pearl necklace idea. You don't know what it means to give your wife, or any woman...
That's
or man.
Yeah, exactly.
A pearl necklace.
Yeah. And Joel didn't.
You guys get it?
We'll throw,
I'm sure they get it.
We'll throw up a link down here, an internet link.
Right here.
And
that'll explain what a pearl necklace.
It might just say the internet.
Yeah.
You can just find it from there.
Yeah. Google pearl necklace.
Yeah.
You'll see a bunch of pearl necklaces and...
Yeah. And you would, now just to make it clear, the unconventional one that doesn't fit the sort of the Zales page.
I would not have been excited to get a joke on the air
Joel didn't know
about jewelry.
He was in the 60% that didn't know.
Well, who cares what he's just a guy who reads this stuff. But yeah, he was like, what is this? Just read it. Yeah, he had no power.
Yeah. And did you feel...
But me and Dino were so excited, and we were giggling in the bathroom. I can't believe we got the joke on the air. And then the head writer was in the stall. We didn't know he was in there. And he said, what joke? And we told him the joke, and he was like, oh, well, that's a stupid joke, because he didn't get it. He didn't get it.
That's perfect. We'll come back, talk about Louis, because the season's been incredible. We'll be right back with more from Louis C.K. This is season 5 of Louis, yes?
That's right.
And then this week you did an episode. The entire episode was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was a nightmare that kept coming back.
And we usually show the clip before the guest comes out, but we thought it would you maybe need to set up the clip, or else people would think it was too weird.
Yeah. This isn't what the show's usually like.
Right, that's what we felt like it would just push people to the other.
I was hesitant to do a dream show, but this is about somebody having nightmares that they won't go away. It happens to me once in a blue moon. I'll have a nightmare, wake up, go back to sleep, and they're all, hey, waiting for me. And it just keeps going. So this is an episode about that.
So this is here's a clip from Louis' nightmare episode.
Don't do it. I'm telling you.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
All right, this next guy is really funny. Please help me welcome Louis C.K.
Oh my God!
Very good. That's a nightmare. I'm not the specific shape of, but having to go on stage not ready, or is that a nightmare for you?
Yeah, I mean that's also my real penis.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Because it played as a joke.
No,
Did you
that's the
notice?
thing is, and it clears for standards because it doesn't look like most people's penis.
That's the way around it.
Yes, I usually, when I have dreams where I'm naked, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
With what's going on down there. And that took a lot of work to, you know, we had these artists that kept making different shapes.
Oh, and you would send them back to the shop?
Yes.
Wow.
A bunch. That was like, literally, it was like the 20th version.
Wow.
We made a bunch because we wanted to make something that could be on television.
Uh-huh.
So it had to be genitaliac.
Right.
But it had to be creepy and not, you know, so we ended up with this kind of crawler-looking thing. Kind of pinwheel.
Yeah.
It was, you know, because I was like, I couldn't look like it was like hacked off.
Right.
It had to look like it just was.
That was what it
else.
was.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite thing about that discussion right there is someone's job to look at that
and it's very
to say
serious.
it's in or out.
Yeah, it's somebody. It's very serious. They look at it and they're like, "Okay, tell us what is it? The texture?" And we talked on the conference calls about that. Yeah.
You also, of the many things you do on the show, edit, write, direct, star in, you are a part of the music as well. And this was a thing that a lot of people at the end of the show couldn't quite wrap their heads around. They thought it was an actual song.
That's right.
This played during the credits.
Yeah.
And well, I want to play the song, but talk through it first, or you want to play it first?
Well, it's basically during the ended credits. After I finally solved the nightmare problem, and now I'm sleeping soundly, and there's this very sweet song on. And it's meant to feel like a real song. So then, but then just listen to and I'll explain how we made it. But
all right. So the most important thing here is listen to this beautiful song, but really listen to the lyrics.
Their smiling faces give me diarrhea. Please die, you dying baby, in my diarrhea.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Gorgeous.
song.
Yeah.
And it. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Gorgeous.
song.
Yeah.
And it feels like.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Felt like a different era, of a different era.
That's right. Well, I was making music for this episode. I have this band, these guys that are called Sweet Pro, and this guy Matt Kilmer's the composer, and we make music together. I don't have any musical training. I could never do what you guys do, but I get to go and just like whistle and hum at them, and they make music. So I was trying to come up with something for this episode, and we had an opera singer, a real opera singer who was singing this beautiful music. Her name is Giselle, I forget her last name. Giselle Bella.
Okay. Well, that's certainly...
Giselle Bella, pause, Z.
Okay.
Yes. So she was there singing opera, and she has such a pretty voice, and I thought, what about like a Roy Orbison kind of a song with her voice? And I just scratched these lyrics down and showed them to Matt, because I had to leave. I had to go pick up my daughter at school. And so he said, well, sing it. So I sang it into his iPhone. So somewhere there's a version of me singing that into an iPhone. And then he emailed me that night, and I was like, you got to be me. That's the greatest thing in the world. So we threw it on the end of the...
It is really beautiful. And
the word diarrhea is lovely when you don't know what it means. I mean, for me, I love the word diarrhea.
Yeah. And so now to actually add on the layer of him being beautifully
sang by
sung.
a beautiful woman.
In that sort of theme, in that area, there was a great scene this year with you and the actress to play your daughter.
Yeah.
You have to go to the bathroom. You're walking down the street, and this is something... This is an idea you had. Is this based?
What my show is. Diarrhea and poop.
Yeah, and some others, some beautiful.
Penises that don't work. It's a class show.
It's a classy show. Yeah. It's real. It's PBS next year, right?
That's right.
It's going to be on right on after Downton Abbey.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Laura Linney will introduce it.
That's right.
Tonight on Louie.
Diarrhea.
But this is something you've thought about, because you have to go to the bathroom, you're with your daughters, you're trying to make it home in time, you don't.
Well, it's New York living, you know, and you're out on the streets with your kids, and all of a sudden you got to go. I can't use a public restroom. Like, I just have too many phobias that I need to have the deed of the building I'm pooping in my hand. And, you know, 3 locked doors between me and the next person.
Yeah.
That's what I need in order to let go.
Yeah.
So... the first year of the show, I wrote this thing where I'm with my daughter. At the time, my daughters were like, 4 and 2. And as a single dad, when you're out with your kids that little in New York City, if you got to go, you can't leave them out in the street.
Right.
Or even in a store. You got to bring them in with you. They got to watch you poop.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like in an airport, your kids are just standing in the stall of the men's room.
watching you poop. It's part of being a dad.
Yeah.
But so I didn't do the bit, though, because I just thought it's just pooping. I don't want to do it. And Pamela Adlon, who's a producer on my show, she's like, you got to do it. Every year, she's like, you got to do the poop. We call it Poop Race 2000. We call it Race 2000,
Yeah.
but you're going to bleep that.
Sure.
But so, okay. So this year, I thought of an ending, which I hadn't thought of, because now my daughters are grown. You know, they're like 13 and 10. And so now it's about them helping me. They're trying to help me find a bathroom. And then at the end, I know I'm not going to make it home, and I'm too far from any public restroom, so I've got to let go. I realize it's time. I'm in too much pain. I know I can't make it. I got to let go. I got to decide to poop in my pants on the street.
Yeah.
And I push my daughters away, and I say, get away from, don't look at me. Go far away from me.
Terrified, they're sad, they're upset.
Yeah, they're really
I will
upset.
say, watching it, I also felt relief.
Yeah.
When you let go.
That moment, I realized that was, when I came up with that, I thought that's worth doing, because that's profound. That there's no worse feeling. There's no worse feeling that in regular life than when you got to go number 2 and you can't, which, by the way, for me, is number 1 in my book. I don't know what they call it. But when you got to go and you can't, there's just nothing. I mean, your whole body, your whole system gives up on you, and and then when you decide, I'm deciding it's okay to poop in my pants on the street, and you cross over that threshold, and you just go, come on, let me have it, baby. You're having an experience. You're going like, this is it. I'm choosing the worst thing ever, but I'm choosing it.
Yeah.
And as it happens, you're just like, God is good, you know?
Yeah. Because you instantly feel better.
Everything's better.
Yeah.
Everything's better.
You can face the world. The actresses who play your daughters are so great, and you can not only can you do more with your daughters in real life, but because they're becoming better actresses.
Yes, they are.
On the show. It's really wonderful.
The little one who's kind of, she's really on fire all the time. And for this thing where she's trying to help me find a bathroom to poop in, she's just going, come on, Dad, you have to poop. And I'm like, no, you have to. This is the worst thing that ever happened. I said, when I tell you to go away so I can poop in my pants, you have to act like you're a refugee being taken away from your dad.
She's great.
She's like, that would be so awful. I said, yes, and this is only funny if it's that awful. Yeah. And she was like, yeah. And she got it. So she nailed the scene.
Your daughter's in real life now. You raised them in New York instead of LA, which is great. You live here, so it makes sense. Yeah.
It would be really hard.
Send them away.
No, honey, you live in Los Angeles.
But you also you make sure they're not getting the luxury of show business from you. They're taking the bus to school.
They take the bus, yeah. My oldest daughter takes the bus. Little one, I still walk her to school, but the oldest one gets up at 6:35 and she's on the bus at like 7. You know, she's got to take the bus. And I've got this nice toasty Mercedes sitting there, and I'm like, it's not for you, baby. It's not for you. You didn't make that money. No. I try to teach her, I think New York is a good place for kids to grow up, and she's got to learn common sense. One thing I teach her that I tell all kids that I know her age is, sometimes creepy people in New York want to say something to you, or whenever somebody in New York goes like, excuse me, like this, I tell her, you keep walking, and you shouldn't feel bad.
Yeah.
Because he's like, can I ask you something? Who would ask a little girl something? Who that's lost, oh, there's a child alone. Can you help me out with something? So that's not a good person. You keep walking. Don't worry about it.
Good lessons to learn. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
always a pleasure to see you. Louis C.K., everyone. Watch the most SNL this week with musical guest Rihanna. And Louis is Thursday nights on FX. We'll be right back with Sharon Osbourne.